Good morning. What is it, May 9th now? Flies right on by. We are going to have a good closing month in May. Why are we going to have a good closing month in May? Because you guys stepped up in January, February, March, and April, right? It's all a tale where we start doing things and it starts progressing. So I'm really proud of all of you to get through this. Because remember last week I shared Jody's comments that we suck less than everybody else. I love saying that. And I mean it with total endearment. Flip to the agenda. Get some quotes going this morning. Get to that. Goal setting is the secret to a compelling future. Right? We spent a lot of time yesterday talking about clarity and getting that goal. So we get motivated to get up in the morning and find something cool. And a lot of you shared some of the things you're shooting for, which is really cool. So I like that one. Joe Diener, what about number 2?
Good morning. Either you run the day or the day runs you.
That kind of talks what we talked about. I think it was last week when I said there's no excuses, right? If you say, I'm going to prospect from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock every day, and the home inspector calls and says, hey, I'm going to open at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. You say, sorry, I have an appointment on Tuesday, because you either run your day or the day runs you, right? Number 3, how about Otis?
The elevators to success are out of order. You'll have to use the stairs, one step at a time. Joe Girard.
I like that too, because that's what we've been saying, right? And unfortunately, you've been proving me wrong. I'm saying start this effort and we're going to turn the faucet on. Water's going to come out in time. But so many of you are starting the effort. You're getting a prospect and you're selling a house. And we're forgetting the time to go through the hose. But we'll take it either way. Mr. Puma, how about number 4?
I always wanted to be somebody, but now I realize I should have been more specific.
That's right in line with the Matthew Ferry law of attraction and magnetism.
Should have been more specific. Number 5, how about Rachel?
Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships.
Ooh, I like that. And you see that a lot. There's a lot of like really good agents that are out there and they've got a lot of talent, but they're missing out on opportunities to be with a team that just outperforms because there's just opportunities. We're going to talk about some opportunities for you guys next week on the 18th. We're going to expose you to what's called the Beachmaker, which is going to be a super cool deal. And we're going to have an exclusive on that for a long time. So Puma will give you marketing ideas and images and Facebook posts and all this type of stuff. We're going to have 140 units to sell, $240 million worth of product, like $4 million worth of commissions. Okay, that's it. Okay, on deck, Paramount Title, Miss Megan, what do you got going on for us this week?
Good morning.
Morning.
Just wanted to send a reminder that India is out this week. So if you guys need anything, reach out to me or Amy, and we'll be able to help you out. She'll be out until next Monday. So she'll be back Monday. But if you need anything in the meantime, just let me know. And then just a reminder, we have our survey training on Thursday. It is going to be live on Zoom through Craig's Zoom link. But we also will have somebody in the Apollo Beach office and they're going to bring breakfast in the training room. So if you guys want to show up and be there, we will have a representative from the survey company as well, bringing breakfast, and then we'll do everything on Zoom.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this class. It's going to be very informative.
Yep. Always little tidbits, right? We all still get confused a little bit. Where's the easement and what happens in the easement and what is this in the property? Who owns this and that and the other? And so
I just saw a post online that it was on some real estate group, and it was amazing the wrong information that was given. Somebody asked, I'm buying a property and at the back of the property you can see an easement. What does that mean? How does it affect my value? How does this do this? What does this mean for that? There's tons of real estate professionals making comments on it, making wrong comments saying, well, the county owns that easement, so they can do it. It's like, no, the county doesn't, you own it. But it was amazing just to see how wrong people were with the comments they were making. So
and they're posting it publicly.
Yeah.
Look how stupid I am. I love it. Okay, Megan, we'll see you Thursday.
All right. Sounds good. Have a great day.
All right. We're going to go through Manager reports, April's tops. We have some really, really diligent agents producing really, really good results. And these are monthly numbers. So take these and times them times 12, and that's a lot of production. What do you think is good production for an agent annually? Well, the average is 4 deals a year. But I think 12, one deal a month would be very responsible as an agent to do one deal a month. Well, now let's look what our award winners are doing. You can show the spreadsheet or, there we go. Why don't you go for first, Chris, because Apollo Beach is at the top.
Sure. So for April tops for the Apollo Beach office, we had Ms. Kim Hodgkins and Ray Monahan, both tied for most listings with 3 listings.
That's awesome.
And if you know Kim, she's really put a big push on in Mira Bay recently, and she just put 3 properties on the market in Mira Bay, all of them $1.3 to $1.7 million. So she's got a lot of really great properties there. Plus, there's been a few more that have come up in the last week. So she's really working hard in there. And Mr. Ray has been consistent as always, putting up new product. Most open sides, most sales, Heidi Seddon with 5 open sides in the month of April. And she also brought in most commissions in the month of April as well.
So what's 5 times 12?
60,000.
60 transactions in a year. That's a lot.
5, and she's pretty consistent with doing that. She's an absolute machine. The girl answers her phone like within seconds and is just constantly trying to convert everything. And the awesome thing that she's doing is she's really good with follow-up. So she's following up on deals that she's talked to about 1.5 years ago, continue following up, and she's converting a lot of the deals from 1.5 years ago.
And talk
then-
about clarity with her too, real quick, because she comes in every time she goes, I don't like right now, she has, I think 18 or 19 deals for the month. I mean, for the year already. And she's like, I have to be at 23 just so at the end of June, so I can at least match what I did last year, which was 46 transactions that she did. So
yeah, she's very focused and very clear on what the objectives are that she's trying to achieve. And then for our most closed sides, Kelly Foreman and John Evans both shared with 4 closed sides. That's
Wow.
pretty amazing, pretty awesome month.
Proud of them.
Nope.
Rachel, you want to take Indian Rocks Beach?
Sure. So in Indian Rocks Beach, we have Amy as our top listing agent and the top selling agent, and Shayna with the most number of closed sides and also the highest in the commission. And both of these ladies work hard, they show up, and they do what they say they're going to do.
Fantastic. First time I've seen Bob Dean on that list in a while. Come on, Bob, we're gonna let the women pass you up.
Ne-
You want me
Next
to go
week-
ahead and do Madeira?
Yeah, while you're up.
Okay. And then in Madeira, we have a mix of a brand new agent and some of our veteran agents who got the most listings with Amy Smith, Maria McNeil, Russell Miller, Michael Reichenbach, and Susan Gilbert. And then Amy Smith also took the most number of open sides.
Holy
And Amy
cow.
Smith and Sherry Keenan were our top closing agents with the number of closed sides, and Amy had the highest closed commissions.
Check out Amy with 7 deals in the month. That's a stressful month. What's 7 times 12? 84.
Wow.
Wow. That's high production right there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Sun City Center.
Back to Sun City, back to the South Shore area, Sun City Center office, our top listing agent, Mr. Phil DiRosario with 2 listings. I'm amazed by this guy every day in the office, every single morning. Talk about consistency. Every single morning, same time, shows up, they're late, out knocking on doors, out working his butt off, constantly following up, constantly making the calls, very communicative with everybody he works with. Just amazing, just completely amazed by this guy every single day. 2 listings for the month of April. Miss Robin Bennett open sides, 5 open sides in April. The girl has just turned it on about 2 years ago and has not slowed down since. And most closed sides for the month, we have Thomas McCombs and Miss Sandy Tams gracing us with her presence today with 4 closings in the month of April. Congratulations. And then Mr. Thomas McCombs had the most closed commissions in the month of April.
Wow. Impressive.
So far you're looking at over $25,000 to $30,000 in that range for closed commissions for kind of the average, which is a pretty damn good year if you're consistent
Yeah,
with
times
that.
25 times 12 is $300,000. Awesome. I'll do Sarasota since Kathleen's out. Most listings go to Nicola. Nicola is actually a friend of Martin, and they're both from, oh, give me a second. Where's Martin from? Not Romania.
I can't remember.
But they're both from the same country. They got together, met somewhere, and they brought him in the ministry. And Nicole's just really lit it up. So he's got 2 listings this month, which is our main focus. Ivy's relatively new to us, so she took most sales with 3 and most closed units with 5. That's tracking 60 deals a year. That's humping it. And then Neil Witz is very consistent. He had the most commissions. Congratulations, Neil. Neil's really focused on some big deals he's been working, and he works them and works them and works them and works them until they come together. Let's do Longboat Keys out there too. No, we put them all together. Okay, Thomas, why don't you do Brandon?
Good morning. So we have Andy with most listings, 1 listing. And then we have Lauren Fletchman with 5 open sides. As you guys know, Lauren is consistently every day engaging mastermind. She also signed up with the Matthew Ferry manifesting, and she just rocking. And she has like 5 listings as well. So kudos to you, Lauren. And then we have Andy Simmons with 7 closings. I believe she probably grossed about 100 grand last month. So she's consistently see her name, and she had most closed. So congratulations, ladies.
Nice. Mr. Dino, you want to talk about South Tampa?
Yes, good morning. How are you? Really proud of this team going on right now. Jessica Began Houston, 3 new listings. She was just running around crazy last month getting these listings on. So and then most open sides, Katya and Jessica again with 6. That's 6 open sides in a month is a lot. It really is, especially when you're compounding it with 3 listings. That's a lot of work going on.
9 transactions.
I'm sorry, say it again.
It's 9 transactions in a month, and theoretically, there's only 20 work days in a month. So that's like 1 deal every other day.
Right. So that's you definitely. I know Jessica uses Barbara for assistant, and that really is very helpful. Cody, what is this? Most closings, okay. She had 5. And again, her new construction really helps in that. And Nicole's been on the board before with most open sides. So she now has, she's now in the slot for most commissions for the month. So all ladies this month.
Yep. Power to the women.
Yes.
You want to call it Team Imagine?
Yeah, our Team Imagine had the
What do you call
clean
it, trifecta when they won all races?
the trifecta. Yeah, they clean sweep for all categories for Team Imagine. 3 new listings in the month of April, 1 open side, 4 closings, and the most closed commissions. So we need some competition in the team side, put a little bit of pressure on everybody and make them show up a little bit more. But congratulations, Team Imagine, on all your hard work.
See if Jessica's on the women. B3, I want to make an announcement. So we talked about this before, but Jessica Roman is the team leader for Berkshire Hathaway and Pasco County and Wesley Chapel. And she got introduced to us from Otis, and we got along really well. We invited her to the 121 event. We hung out, and she liked our vibe, and we liked her vibe. So we hired her team, and she's really organized and grows well. So we made her the market president for Hernando County. So we inherited her team, and then we gave her a territory to grow for BE3 like we did in Miami. So we've added probably 22 agents to the company with that 1 hire. Pretty cool. $60 million in sales volume. And it's a super cool person. So you're going to see some BE3 signs around. So just call it what it is. Like we have a list with Beggins, is another company. BE3 is another company. BE3 is only hiring agents in other counties that we don't have offices in. But Jessica's team does do business in this marketplace. So they were always here before. So if you saw Berkshire Hathaway Home Services signs, they were hers. But now they're going to be Beggins Century 21 signs. So it's better for us. Is she online? No. So I'll call it B3. Or Mike, why don't you call it B3?
Yeah, so another show by the ladies, but Carla and Carlin, the mother-daughter team, if you call them that, they're not an official team. They do work together. They're consistent though. Carla and Carlin have been just going after it and showed up again. And then Ashley and Cheryl are always on this list, it seems, every month after month. So very impressed with those 2 ladies. And then Michelle making an appearance. She hasn't been on here in a little bit, but she's gotten to work recently and really executing. Got 2 deals done last month. And I'm excited to see May because I know that Jessica's team, I think in the last 5 days, has brought over 14 listings just with them from making the transition. So we're gonna have a pretty big May, I do believe.
And going to Miami too?
Oh yeah, sorry, and Miami. Yeah, so Miami has been a fun ride for our admin team. So I do want to publicly thank them for helping us with this transition, because getting these deals in has been difficult to say the least. But Annette has really crushed it last month. She got 3 listings done. And Miguel is, you're going to see Miguel on here month after month. He's an absolute machine down there, and 4 deals there and 1 fully closed. So really, really impressed with Miguel and that entire team. They're coming together.
Yeah, the average sales prices there are sick. It's like $1 million for a normal house.
Yeah.
And then if you get waterfront, you're like $7 million for a house. We actually have one listing, it's $30 million down there. $30 million listing. So congratulations to the top winners for April. And why do I show that to you?
I'll show you
We
what.
got a great deal. I think it's most important is if it can be done by someone, it can be done by you. Right. And that's it. That's why we do awards and things. I want to be up there. I want to get that thing. I want to get those numbers. So that's kind of it. Okay. The 4th P, we're talking about listings. Jody came on and said, guys, listings are the key, listings are the key, listings are the key. And, you know, we have a Beggins listing process, practice, prepare, prospect, preview, boom, 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 boom. The preview is what I want to talk about today, because I know some of you don't do it. And it's really a shame. I'm going to tell you a story about why you should. And I'll use my daughter, Jessica, as an example. She fell in love with a house and put it under contract, got it accepted, did her inspections, structural cracks in the driveway, problem. House was refloored 8 months ago, big horizontal cracks across all tiles in the entire room. Rodents eating wires in the attic. AC is 2008, so that's 12 or 13 years old. What's that going to mean? Probably insurance problems. Roof needs to be replaced. House goes on the market, none of the stuff's disclosed. Now, in the seller's defense, they had never lived there. It's been a rental for 18 years. But still, even more reason to preview. So the agent on the preview should have called out these things. Say, hey, seller, this could be a problem. We could get zonked on insurance. We get zonked on roofing. We get zonked, all these things we can get in trouble for. So let's iron this out before, either adjust it in the price or do it. So this seller ended up taking the house off the market. So Jessica's out the $400 whatever dollars for the inspection. And at least she didn't have to spend a couple $1,000s on engineers to find out what she would have found. So the previewing part of the process is big, right? And it helps us disclose what's what we want to do. I was looking around in .loop and I found a form called a listing preview checklist. And I would never impose that on you. It's 8 pages long with questions about the quality of the house. How old is the AC? How old is the roof? What are all these things to go through on a checklist when you're previewing a listing, right? So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time, but as part of the process, you know, I always hear this song for the International Diamond Center, right? You can't call them up and say, how much is my diamond worth? They can say, oh, it's 4 carats, it's worth this. No, it depends on the clarity and the color and all this other stuff. You got to see it. And the gem master's got to put a little scoop on it and see what's going on in it. So it's just a really important part of the process. I hope you don't skip that, because as we move on to this tight listing market, you're going to see more competition, right? Some of the previews, the quality services on read today, I interviewed multiple agents and we chose yours, right? You're going to see more competition on the listing. So the better you show up, and a little hint to Moxie, we're going to talk about Moxie in a minute too. Moxie is designed to make you look better to the people you already know. So when you show up full play and you're competing with somebody else, you're going to win when you follow the system. And we need listings bad. So I don't want you going on listing presentations and not hitting them. I want you to go to listing presentations and win them, right? So if you play the game, you put your best foot forward, you're going to do better. So that's just one step of the process.
What's the, either, in my opinion, one of the biggest reasons for the preview, if not the first biggest reason, the second biggest reasons you go on a preview? Anybody want to chime in and say what's one of the other, not just to preview and see the house, what's the other reason? Anyway. Can't price it without seeing it. So seeing the home, what's one of the other biggest reasons?
Before.
Yep, getting in contact with the seller. So communication is 738, 55. So 7% the words you say, 38% the way you use the words, tonality and inflection, and 55% body language. If you want to build rapport with somebody, you need to meet them in person. So part of the preview is going in and connecting with the seller. Our listing process gives you anywhere from 6 to 9 touches with a seller before you tell them what you think their home is worth with all of your pricing. If you follow the process correctly, the preview is your opportunity to meet them in person, to connect with them, to communicate with them, to build rapport. Because the more rapport you can build with them when you tell them that their home is worth $50,000 less than the neighbor who sold it a year ago, they're not pissed off at you. They may not like what you said, but they trust you because you've built the rapport and connection with them. So the preview is your opportunity to really build that rapport. It's not your opportunity to tell them all the problems with the home. It's to take all of that in, understand everything about the home, understand them, connect with them, so that when you go back, you've got a better connection with them and you can really connect and tell them where the value of their home should be and work together to position it on the market and win that listing.
What does Zillow not do?
Any of that?
Any of that. They just come up with a number. So imagine you're at a presentation, you're competing with somebody else, and you take the time and energy to go look at the house and assess it before you do your market analysis. And the other agent you're competing with didn't even go look at the house. They just showed up with comps. Which one do you think is going to be more diligent? And if that's your first exposure to them, you're going to win that presentation most likely. So it's a really important part of the process. Back to the
Exactly.
show.
And what do most people do? I want to, they get a call. I want to sell my home. Great. I'll be there at 6. I'll bring over some comps. I'll tell you what it's worth. We can get it on the market by tomorrow. I'll have my photographer come too. We can do, they do it all in one shot and they lose out on that opportunity to build the rapport.
Because they assume they're not competing with anybody. How do we know if we're competing with them? Our pre-qualification script says, by the way, are you interviewing any other agents for the job of selling your home? Right? That's all there. It all flows for a reason. Okay. Okay, Jimmy, I asked you to come on up.
Yes, sir.
You know, Mike Puma does this thing every day. I hope you see those emails and don't just delete them.
What's up?
Today's was really good, except for the mortgage professional versus the real estate professional.
We got the right one in. We got the right one in. We're good.
So it's a shame not to use this information. I told a story on the mastermind yesterday that I need to have my paver sealed and cleaned again. And I can't remember the company that did it. Right. And it's a shame because they didn't stay in touch with me. So Moxie's way to stay in touch with people. Right. And I'm not a social media guy, so I don't go on and see these things. But if I were out following them, I guess they'd do that. They're not reach me. So I had to be in their CRM for them to get to me. But it's funny because an agent call yesterday actually gave me the company that I used. I forgot about it, but they just mentioned one. It happened to be that one. So Moxie's your tool to stay in touch with people. And some big thing that happened yesterday at the mastermind call was a lot of people said, I'm going to spend my time this week getting my Moxie together so I could actually use this. So I want to show you how simple it is. So if you don't have your Moxie together, let's get it together. And then you can take Puma's things and make them go like this.
And this is the thing, I take Mike's post, Puma's post and put it in here so you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. Okay, and it's this simple. You're gonna log into your Moxie.
Let me interrupt for one
go ahead.
second. So we did the interview with Jessica Roman's team on Friday. We showed up and did a 20-person meeting with them and I had Cinco de Mayo and all that stuff. And I was amazed at how many of those agents came up and said, wow, we really like that thing Mike does, because they never had that before. So a lot of times we take for granted the things that we have and we don't use them, but people that didn't have them say, wow, this is kind of cool. And I got a lot of people coming up to me saying, wow, I really like your meetings in the morning. They're breath of fresh air, because they're not getting this stuff at other places. So we'll see how long the excitement runs. But, and Jimmy doing what Jimmy does, he doesn't have to do that. He's taking Mike's effort, putting it into Moxie so you can just hit a button, assuming your Moxie set up.
Yep.
I'll shut up now.
No, you're good. So this is how easy it is to do. You're going to log into your Moxie Engage account and you're going to come over here to where it says campaigns. All right. And then what you're going to do is from here, click on eBlasts, because that's what we have set up for each day. And then come up here to the top right where it says add from library. You have to do this every single time you want to send out one of the eBlasts that we make.
Why do we want to send an eBlast?
Because this is a one-time campaign that goes to as many people as you want as one time. So I know Jackie, She's got a ton of people in there, and when she sends her e-blast, it hits easily 650, 700 people every single time in one shot.
And it tells them how many people opened it.
How many
How
people
many
open it?
times they
How many,
opened it,
how
if
many
they
people they
unsubscribe.
unsubscribe? Yep. Okay, so she's got a 655 people, a 52% open rate. Why is that even important?
300
Why?
people opened her email.
What does that do for me?
It makes her top of mind.
Top of mind. Okay. And you may get a call depending on what you actually send to your sphere, your database. But the idea is to stay top of mind. And if we know that 320 some people are going to be opening and seeing her face, when it's time for them to do a real estate transaction or making a decision around real estate, who do you think they're gonna call? Jackie. And that's one of the reasons around this. So,
Well, what if she does it once and then doesn't do it again for 4 months?
well, who knows? I'll probably send it to them. I'll probably send it to all of them and they might call me. I'm just kidding. I would never do, I can't do that anymore.
Somebody else.
Somebody else will. Somebody else will. Okay. So like I said, we're going to click on eBlast and we're going to add from the library. And then what you're going to see here, this is the one from today. Oh no, this is not the one from today. I did not post it, so I apologize. I will get that in there today. I thought I had it set up. But as you can see here on the left, this is the name. And this goes from the latest, like it'll be today, to the least that is going to be from back in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the argument that, well, I don't want to send it because everybody's sending that. Well, then go back a week and send the one from last week
Yeah.
to your group.
And go through and take a look and see which one makes sense for you, because like if you want to do a down payment, now we do have one for today that will be in here. You can preview it just to see if this is the one you want to send. So in this case, I'm going to pretend this is the one I'm going to, once it loads up. Okay, let's say you like this. It's all set up for you. They'll actually call out the contact's name for you and hit add to campaigns. So find the one you want, add to campaigns. You will notice here that this is the one that just showed up. Took me right back. All I'm going to do is click on it. And this is how easy it is. Set up,
Your recipients.
add your people. If you're going to send it to everyone, you have to click on groups and you'll have all current contacts here. Or you can even come down and just do a specific group that you have. Let's say a farm, let's say your buyers, let's say your sellers. I'm going to set this up for everybody and hit add and then save. Once this hits save, you can scroll down while it's kind of saving everybody in there just to make sure that is the email that you definitely want to go out. Just double check. Once this turns blue on the top right, send campaign. Just about done. I'm sending it now, but it will actually take me back to the eBlasts once it's completely set up and I'm done. Okay. It doesn't send to everyone at one time. Okay. It does it slowly but surely throughout the day to make sure that you get it there, because if you send too many at one time, you can get blacklisted, and we don't want that to happen. But you don't have to worry about that. It automatically does it for you. So this will flip around. It's going to done. And then it will tell me if anybody opens it here, anybody that actually clicks on it, because there is a contact form that takes them to your website that they can fill out information if they want more information. And you can also see who unsubscribed. And then I'm going to go one step further on this. If you're looking at this to see who actually opens it, if you're not sure who to contact today or tomorrow, and you've sent this out, come down here. I sent this to the manager group. Click on who opened the last eBlast and then go call those 4 people, because you're already top of mind. So when you call them, it's not going to be kind of a complete shock that you're reaching out to them.
Big brother is watching.
Boom.
Cool. Does that make sense? Is that a helpful demonstration? Will you guys take advantage of that? I mean, Puma, every morning I back for my walk at 6 o'clock and there it is in my inbox. He's like consistent as all get out. So crazy if you're not doing that. Just that one step, at least an email blast. And we were talking about email blasts. Don't do them too often. Right? It'd be annoying. But if email didn't work, we wouldn't get so much email marketing. It does work over time. So just pick it up and play. Okay. I think I'm gonna put Frank up now because I don't want him to be too bored. He's on. All right, but back to my slideshow, if you would, just for a quick second. See where I was. All right, next one. Okay, let me just do this real fast. So the purpose of the mastermind group is clarity, focus, action, and accountability. I'm proud that 50 of you are still hanging in, playing the game. Well, last week, this week I did a little different. So the message is the same. We're looking for buyers, we're looking for sellers, right? Go through until you send that to all your databases. But this week, we're going to do something different. You can choose your own path this week, and many of you did. Looking forward to Friday's accountability. Many of you told us what you would do, and let's see if you man up or woman up on Friday. Some people said, I'm going to take this week and get my Moxie. So on Friday, I'm going to say, did you get your Moxies up? And 7 people gave me specifics what they said. So I think it's kind of cool because you're seeing the flexibility in real estate. Some things work, some things don't. Some things you don't think of, some things you might want to copy and borrow from. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm looking forward to Friday. It's gonna be fun. Next slide. No, do that. Let's let Frank go up now. Okay, so velocity of money. Remember that class? What do we call it? YADA, yield, amortization, depreciation, and appreciation, right? There's a concept behind that to help people buy investment properties. And a lot of you reached out to your people and said, hey, can you think about the equity in your home and buy an investment property? So Frank's had a whole course on this that he's going to teach on the 24th, I think we changed it. And it's 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. It's a day. It's a real course. And he's done this before. So Frank, give us a preview.
All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Thanks, Craig. So on the 24th, we're going to do it in the Apollo Beach office. And some of you have listened to the webinar that I did that one day, and that was a 45-minute snapshot. This is an all-encompassing training, and I used to do it in 8 classes, and I condensed it to 1. And I really think, I think Chris mentioned the live thing, the building rapport thing. I think it's near impossible to listen for 6 or 8 hours on Zoom because there's so much information. And one of the things that we haven't really talked about a lot is the first-time home buyers or the home buyers and the 3 trademark products that I have. So, if you're buyer agents or listing agents, when people have to go somewhere, if we talk about the 3-2-1 and done, or the single family fast track, or the 030 for heroes, which allows veterans to buy $1 million in real estate for 10 grand, like those things I'm going to go through in detail. And I think at the end of the day, you're going to be exhausted. You're going to be like, wow, that was drinking from a fire hose. And if you don't walk away with 5 new ideas and like a crazy amount of excitement to change your business or be a more sort of encompassing agent. So then what it does is it's going to set up for the 3rd week in June. We're going to do a big one at a hotel where we want to invite our database. We want to invite our first-time home buyers because it creates activity. We're creating a consumer direct model with Velocity Money that's pulling people out of the woodwork and making them buyers. That's the biggest thing that I always say to you guys is your New York Life person who has 300 grand in the 401k, they think they're okay because they have $500,000 in equity in their home. They're not okay. And we're going to show them why they have to buy more real estate. So I want to train you guys on every aspect of it. And I guarantee 100%, you're going to be fired up and you're going to have 5 or 6 new ideas that's going to make your business better and make you more money.
Okay. And there's a cost for this class.
Yeah. So we're doing an exclusive. What do you think we can fit, Craig? 50 people, 60 maybe in your theater?
50 for sure.
50. So we're doing $299 for the first 50 people. And here's the beauty of the whole thing. The first funded deal we do, you guys get the $299 back. That's number 1. Number 2, at the end of the day, if anybody says, I don't think this was worth it, I'll give you your money back because I know it will be. Number 3, you're going to get a Velocity of Money certification. When we start doing these huge seminars in the area, you guys are going to be the ones that have the certification, know the product. Leads are going to come through because we're going to be doing a national campaign. And number 4, every customer that you guys do as a certified agent gets $500 off closing costs when we do their loan. So it's going to be amazing. I'm actually trying to figure out how to condense all the information. I'm doing it with you guys because I love, what Craig's teaching, and we've had some good conversations and some tidbits, but this is a day worth driving up to Apollo Beach, and we're going to rock and roll and then start slaying dragons because if we can get 1 or 2 of our 10 prospects to get the idea to buy 3 properties, or we can get the people that we've sold in our past database to buy some investment properties / vacation homes. Then we're creating residual income from our current database, and we're adding value to their lives by helping them retire, which is why I'm passionate about it.
Who's interested in that? I am.
Are we gonna send out an RSVP or a registration link where they would be able to pay the $299 and
Yep.
get registered for the class, so we can make sure we have, a in-person cap of no more than 60 in the room and then everybody else online?
I'll send out a Google form invite.
Yeah, Craig has a flyer. He's gonna get you guys. I'm putting in the chat Jasmine's. All you got to do is email Jasmine and say, I'm in. She'll send you a form for payment. It's jasmine@thevelocitymoney.com. And yeah, we're gonna rock and roll. And then when the first 50 of you love it and kill it, then we'll figure out how to continue to offer it to the rest of your team, Craig, so that I don't mind getting a hotel and paying for the money, if we're gonna get 100, 200, 300 people in the room. And we did this in New Jersey, and it created so much momentum that at one point I was going broke on credit reports because I had like 150 people pre-approved to buy multifamilies, and they didn't have enough inventory to find it. So that's a good thing that we have that kind of activity. So I'm really excited, and we're gonna over deliver. There's so much data for y'all, and we're gonna rock and roll.
Good job. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think it's fascinating to see and to justify it. Because if you can talk to somebody, I mean, how many people have equity in their homes right now? A lot of it. Everybody. And it's almost a crime to let it sit there and do nothing for you. And Frank's formulas are so safe that nobody's gonna get hurt because the way you buy investment property. So good job, Frank. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Craig, side note, hey, campaign, the e-blast I just sent out, I just had 3 responses and one person wants to learn more. So
Who'd you send it to? Your
I
database?
sent it to my entire database. Yeah.
So don't do this. It doesn't work. We'll be doing another one, Mindy, for sure. Okay, mastermind. All right, I put this up here. I just want to show you some changes, right? The market changes, we change with it. This is a production summary report from April of this year compared to April from last year. What was April of last year like? That was crazy, right? So we started April last year, we had 577 agents on the roster. We're down to 455, right? Because I personally asked the managers to get rid of all the people that weren't producing because they cost us money. So we got rid of a lot. But I want you to see what happened. Our listings last year in April, which was not as tight as it is right now, we had 109 listings taken in that month. We still took 100 listings with 122 people less. So that just goes to show you the people left didn't do anything, and we're holding our own. So a smaller group of people is producing on a per person level much higher. But with 455 people only producing 100 listings, we got to get our priorities straight, right? That's got to be our effort. So we're putting a lot of priority effort into that. Sides, listings taken sides. We took 86 listings out of 455 people. That means 19% of our agents took a listing. Means 81% didn't. So I'm just trying to focus you on listings a little bit here. And then listings taken by agents, we had 66 agents take 86 listings. So it's not even 86 agents took listings, 66 agents took 86 listings. So there's not, and that's in this company, which is pretty listing focused. I just want to point this out for us. And then last year we had 77 people take a listing. So some of those people that were gone did take listings. But that's really what I wanted to show today. I pulled the number. It's just so early in May to go, but well, Angela sent me a hot sheet earlier. We had 14 sales over the weekend. We had 19 sales month to date, plus 14 that just hit the hot sheet that are not a report. So we had 37, whatever that number, 35, 33 sales. And the closings this month are supposed to top 2.5 million bucks, which that just makes me super happy. That's why I said May's gonna be really good. But almost 25 properties are past closing date. They're still on the pending list with April closing dates. And what does that mean? Contracts are dead. They got to be extended or canceled. So please take a look at that if you're one of those agents. Well, that's my inbox time. Can I drive that for a minute? I just take a screenshot of my inbox so I can go to it. So April's production summer I did. That's what I just did. This is a survey class for Thursday, 8:30 to 9:30. That'd be fun. And informative. We need to learn that. This is the velocity of money stuff. She sent me all this marketing material, which Susie will be sending out to you guys today, so you can have it and talk about it. This is our, let's come up another slide. We'll do it in a minute. The training recaps. We are producing, if I say so myself, some damn good content. Chris wasn't here last week, so it's not as good. But Angela does a lot of work posting these, putting them out so you don't miss it. And I realize some people are busy at 8:30 in the morning and stuff, but you know, you take a lunch break, all you gotta do is click it and it takes you to. And the class starts, and that's how we're.
That's where we're at, baby. Here and now. That's all we got. Good morning.
So it's all there for the watching. So if you get some time, it might be better than a Netflix binge, you know, to keep what's going on. Especially like if you miss a survey class on Thursday and you want to see it, it's going to be there for you. It's always on Beggins Agents Facebook page. And then it goes on our YouTube channels and it goes out on this, but this is probably the easiest way to get the whole recap. Okay, this is something I just want to talk about. We've been at top workplaces to work for 14 years. And part of that reason is because we care about our people and our people care about us. I'm talking about the staff. So over the weekend, an agent submitted a listing and was pissed off that it didn't get entered. Well, there's a process we go through when we take a listing. We verify it, we look for compliance. This particular listing was turned in on Saturday to go live, but the listing agreement didn't start until Wednesday. So we're not going to put a listing on the market on Saturday when it's not effective until Wednesday. And another listing with the same agent came in and it did not have comments or photos. So we can't put a listing up without remarks and photos because, in my opinion, you don't want to make a bad first impression, right? So the staff does monitor the listings and contracts emails because we know if your house goes on the market, goes under contract on Saturday, you want it pended because you don't get the calls all weekend, right? So those type of things they can do on the fly. Chris keeps his computer or his phone with him. He can do it all from there, right? So they do monitor that, but send the comments to listings or contracts because somebody's monitoring that over the weekend, right? But they're asking you if it's a big job, like putting a listing in is probably an hour plus to enter all the content. Well, you know, you went to another company to do it yourself. You put the listing content in, you load the photos, you organize the photos, you do all that shit. It takes a lot of time, right? And the staff needs their weekends off too. And they're happy to do it. But if you can give them a queue up in the beginning, like say Wednesday or Thursday, hey, I'm going to have a listing. It's got to go live on Saturday. Get the stuff in. They can prep it and make it ready, right? Because generally, you know in advance, you're not just all of a sudden, I got a listing today. No, you've been working on it for a while. So give them a heads up and they'll be glad to do it for you. So I just want to stress the kindness part of this. They'll do it, but let's treat them nicely because they are giving up their weekends.
Well, also along the lines of if you have a listing go under contract and you want it pended, just understand that MLS gives you 2 business days to update the status change of any listing. So if your active listing goes pending on Saturday, you have 2 business days to update it. They understand that there are staff that input this information and they do have time off, weekends off. So you can wait until Wednesday morning or Tuesday evening to get that pended. I think it's probably the best thing to do anyway. Let yourself get some more marketing online and possibly get some more phone calls. You don't need to pend it right away on Saturday. Let the rest of the weekend go, grab a few more phone calls. Even if you don't want the leads, pass them to somebody else to follow up with them and take them. But you do have 2 business days to update any status change to a listing.
Yeah, the problem is it's a pain in the ass. If it goes pending, you don't want any more calls. Get it off my back, right?
Why wouldn't you want more calls? Why wouldn't you want
from
more
agents
calls?
on that? For
Yeah.
showings. Or it could fall apart. So get some backups too. All right. Mike sent this email out yesterday. So this woman, Monica, actually works for Jessica Roman and the Roman Group team that we just hired. And she manages her E-team. And that's what team leaders do is they provide leads for their agents. And she gets most of her leads from realtor.com and probate leads. So she's buying more realtor.com zip codes to accommodate our marketplace. And she's invited up to 15 people for a class. And this is last week to sign up and become a lead conversion specialist. So she'll put you on the E-team like the Roman Group has, but she insists that you take her class. Because it's all about lead follow-up and she's not going to buy the leads for you. You're going to pay a referral fee at closing, but she's not going to give you the leads unless she knows you know how to use them. So apparently she's a really, really good teacher. We saw her at a meeting a week or two ago, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago now. And she's got quite a few people signed up. So this is your last shot. So pay attention to Puma's email. No, it's all week. It's 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock, except for on Tuesday, because this is the day Chris uses the room this late. So it'll be 11 o'clock to 3 on Tuesday. But it's a commitment, but it's role playing and it's how to get internet leads to buy. These aren't just internet leads. These are vetted leads like OpCity or like Zillow. It's a call. And you don't have to. If you don't feel like you're the converter business model, then this is not for you. So she's only looking for 15 people out of 400. So I'm sure she'll come pretty close to getting that. I didn't put this in. So the Beach Maker, guys, when you see this, this is going to be a game changer for the city of Madeira Beach. Think about what's going to happen. The revenue, the sales tax, the guest hotel room tax, the property values around the marketplace, the property taxes. The city of Madeira Beach, I don't know what their taxes are on that triangle that is there now with all these old dumpy buildings, but the property tax bill on this new $150 million hotel is going to be exceptional. It's going to change the face of Madeira Beach. And we're going to have the first shot at knowing about it for quite a while. So it'll be a Beggins exclusive listing, and we're going to try to market the hell out of it ourselves and before we open it up to the public. So that's going to be next week, 10:30 to 12. Jeff's going to do it live in Madeira Beach and probably do a site tour after that because it really is, it's a big deal. So that is exciting. That's coming up on the 18th. OpCity. Okay, this is a big deal. So that Rise network we joined, what we did is we took the top 10 OpCity users and put them in a separate group. And we monitor that group now with this Rise people. They call me every 2 weeks and we have a call on it. And those 10 people are crushing it with leads because their scores are high. So they're the ones who answer the phone. Well, we got another team of OpCity agents, which is, we used to put everybody in OpCity when you join the company. And most of you ignored it and your points fell. So you're basically not on the running for anything anymore. So you're a part of the team, but you're not getting anything because you're not working your numbers. So our coach, his name is Cole. He's going to do what's called an OpCity refresh for us, where he's going to teach us on Zoom. You just watch, he's going to tell you some tips and tricks to do to your account to get your numbers back up if you want to get OpCity leads. And this is, once again, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. If you want to get more OpCity leads, you need to refresh if you're not getting them now, you need to go through the refresh and clean up your act, right? It's almost like a refresh, like a start over, and then you'll get some more opportunities. So that's going to be, what day is that? Thursday, the 11th at 1 o'clock. I've been bad about times lately. Yeah, it is 1 o'clock because I forgot to put the time in. Many of you reminded me that I forgot to put the time in. So I'll send another one out before we get too much further past that. Lennar. Ugh. Pissed me off. Do you guys see this? This is their inventory sheet. And this is the commissions they're paying. 2%, 2%, 3%, 3%, 2%, 2%, 1% too. So basically, if you're picking off the shelf that they're paying interest on because the house is almost done, they're going to pay you 3%. If you're ordering in advance, they're not going to pay you very much because they figure that they got you by the short hairs. So that's not good. So I just want you to be aware of that. And that just makes me like D.R. Horton that much more. Just saying. And when I was a kid and I did something wrong, which wasn't very often, my dad would say, let's play a game. I'll be Craig, you be Dad. Okay. So I'm the agent, you're the broker, and you get a request for this. Looks like a new listing at 123 Andy Street needs approval for a total commission of 4.5%, 1.5% to the list side and 3% to the co-broke. Do you approve? I'm the agent asking for this request. You're the broker. What would you say to me? Oh, don't flatter me. I don't think we should. Well, the company would be doing it for free. What's the price? That's interesting. That's one thing that matters. If it's $4 million, 1.5% of $4 million, that's $60,000. That's okay, but 3% of $4 million is better. Right? I appreciate the 3% co-broke because I want to look good in the marketplace and want the other brokers to like us. But this is something I've been talking to the managers about too. When we talk about commission splits, sometimes I tell the managers, I said, well, how does that work for us? How many deals did you do last year? Oh, you did 30,000 in commission. You want a 90% split? Should we get 10% of 30 grand? That's $3,000. Go to EXP. They'll give you 80% and you won't even cap because you're not making enough money. Right? So from the brokerage side, 1.5%, but you're in a 70 or 80% split. There's no money in there for the company to fund itself. So that's number one.
Here's a different perspective. He just showed the Lennar sheet. How many of you are pissed off to see
I'd love that.
1% on the Lennar sheet? You're pissed off at Lennar for giving you 1%, but you're not mad enough at yourself for accepting 1% when you go to interview for a listing.
Good point.
Why wouldn't you be mad at yourself for willing to accept 1% on a listing, but you're mad at Lennar for giving you 1%? Stand up for your value. Be more mad at yourself for not showing up a little bit stronger and commanding a higher dollar.
No way.
No.
Yeah. Terry said if it was reversed, would you be happy with that either? No. Because I want the realtor community like to sell our stuff. Right. Now I turned down that townhouse listing on Grand Cayman because the guy who got it got a 1% commission on the list side and he offered a 2% commission on the co-broke. And I told the owner, I won't take a 1% listing. Oh, and he sold himself. He only got 1% also. Nothing on the other side. And I said, no, I won't do 1% and I won't do 2%. He didn't sell one, not one. And now I got him at 2.5 because what's our rule? Maybe we said this last week.
We
Repeat after me.
co-broke at the prevailing market rate.
Yeah, prevailing. Right now, unfortunately, the prevailing market rate is 2.5%, which sucks. But these are $1 million units. So it's 25 grand is not the end of the world. So I got the 2.5% and I got the listing commission we needed. So it can be done. I just want to empower you guys to do that. Terry. No, the rule is prevailing rate in the market. If you took all the houses. Oh, well, I'll make this up. Let's say there's 100 listings in the marketplace and 80 of them are paying 2.5% and 20 are paying 3%. Prevailing rate is 2.5%.
Generally, what we're seeing, if you have 100 listings, less than 10% are offering less than 2.5%. It's probably about 8 to 10% are offering, and most of them are going to be Lennar, and then the one-off agent who offers 2% or 1.5%. I would probably say about 55 to 65% of them are offering 2.5%, and then leaving another about 30% that are 25, 30% offering 3%. So, and they're offering 3 or more. So prevailing rate typically when we're looking at most of our markets is going to be around 50 to 60% of the listings are offering 2.5%. That's kind of what we're seeing. I think pretty average. I mean, it's different in little pockets because you go a little further south into Bradenton, Manatee, Sarasota,
90%,
and you're seeing a 75 to 90% of them are 3%. Right. And then you're seeing like the 10% is like 2.5% or so. You don't see a lot of the 1s and 2s. You don't see it there. So most of the areas we're seeing, you're going to run into, okay, we got to just take a look at what that neighborhood is. And then we have some neighborhoods that you don't see it at all. It's 3% across the board. So it's going to depend on your individual market, your individual farm, your individual areas. So just get with your manager. We'll take a look at it and we'll make sense of it.
But try for 3.
Why wouldn't you?
We can change the paradigm. If we start charging 3, what are the competitors going to do?
Same.
They'll start charging 3 too.
And this
That's not price fixing, just so you know.
This same example where we did not take that listing. It was a mutual thing where we said we will not take your listing at that 1% and 2% co-broke. They did not sell. So when you come back around to it and you said, look, we tried to tell you. So the value is definitely there as long as you stand up for it and show it. And sometimes you have to be willing to not take it to show them that that value is there.
Yep. I don't know. Jimmy's gone with the mic, so 1 second. We have 21 people in the room, by the way.
Last Friday, I closed on a house in Covington Park and my customer loved the house. Normally, I wouldn't have shown it because it was a flat rate, $350,000 house, and the flat rate was $6,000.
Wow.
And so but I want to tell you what happened with that, because the seller thinks that they saved a lot of money in doing that. But when we're at the closing, my buyer was unhappy with a couple of things that happened, like the fact that none of the sprinkler system worked at all, even though they said it was redone, and there were no shutters, and there was a lot of different things. And this agent just totally looked at us and said, well, good, we'll just give you $3,000 off the price. Now the seller is sitting right there, and we'll give you $3,000 off the price. And then they turned around and we said, you didn't hire a licensed plumber. We want a licensed plumber to fix the things that were wrong in the house, as his contract, by the way. And he said, oh yeah, no problem with that. She'll just give you another $500 for that. He sold that person right down the river. And yes, he paid me $6,000. I get it. Whatever. But this customer is going to realize what's going on, my customer, and refer other people to me. But still, so when you're weak in the beginning, just imagine what you're going to do.
Yeah, if I can't defend my value to you, then how do you expect me to defend the value of your home to the buyer?
He didn't. I
No.
mean, it was listed at $375. We got it for $340. They gave a $35,000 discount on the price of the house itself. And then another $2,500, and then another $500, and everything. He just kept giving us money from her. We're like, oh, okay. Yeah. So, I mean,
Saved a lot of money.
I'm just saying, if you're weak in the beginning, you're going to be weak in the end, and you need to realize. I just tell people I charge 6%, and they say, okay. And any other questions? That's a
Sure.
Mike Ferry thing.
Happy birthday this week. Jamie Wright, tomorrow's her birthday. Happy birthday to you. Joe Dean, her birthday on the 10th. Happy birthday to you. Devin Weiser on the 12th. Danny Gillespie on the 13th, and Roger Leyland on the 14th. Bunch of longtime people with the company there. So congratulations. Happy birthday to you all. It's just a reminder, we're number 20 in the world. It just sounds good. My call with the president of Century 21 from Mongolia is on Thursday morning this week. I'm excited about that. Jeffrey's over in Germany right now, pitching Century 21 products to the Century 21 convention in Germany. So we're taking advantage of this international world that we're in. So it's kind of cool. And as I always close with, $165,000 is your threshold to join the Path of Centurion. And that's a good goal to set. And that's about 16 transactions we figured this year. Anything else for the greater good?
Yes, may I add something very quickly, because I got a text, and I appreciate the text. The email I had sent out yesterday was for the Prime Street relaunch. That's going to be at 11 o'clock tomorrow. And then we're relaunching Op City on Thursday. So
Right.
there are
It's just
two-
easier for us to send the email to team than to write it out to individual people that are on those groups. So if it's not relevant to you, just delete it. Right. But if you want to learn more about Prime Street, attend. That's just another referral source. And then if you want to learn more about Op City, attend. I'm sorry to hit you with so many emails, because I know there's a lot, especially with everything else we get. But there's just opportunities to learn more, and they're there for the taking or not. But if you're free, tune in. All right. Happy Tuesday.